Look at your hands. The skin on the back of them is thinner than it was 10 years ago. You can see veins you couldn't see before. That's not just surface wear. That's your collagen disappearing at 1% per year, your cells recycling slower, and your body's repair system running out of steam. 7 plants can push back against all 3 of those problems. Not in theory, in published, peer-reviewed research. And you can get every single one of them for under $10. Aging doesn't hit everyone the same way. For some people, it shows up on the skin first. Lines deepening, elasticity disappearing. For others, it's the mind. Words slipping, focus thinning. And for some, it's a feeling you can't quite name. Just a steady decline in how your body recovers, heals, and holds itself together. So instead of running through a list, we're going to follow the damage. Your skin loses about 1% of its collagen every year after 30. By 60, almost a third of it is gone. That's not cosmetic, that's structural failure. And the plant that rebuilds that structure is Rosehip. You've seen these 1,000 times without knowing what they were. Those small, round, red-orange fruits left on rose bushes after the petals fall. Most people ignore them. Inside those fruits is one of the most concentrated sources of natural vitamin C in the plant world. But there's something even more valuable for aging skin. A natural form of vitamin A called trans-retinoic acid. If you've ever used a retinol cream, you know the deal. Retinol boosts collagen, speeds up cell turnover, and reduces wrinkles. But synthetic retinol also causes redness, peeling, and irritation, especially in sensitive skin. Rosehip delivers a milder version of the same compound, straight from the seed. A 2015 study published in Clinical Interventions in Aging tested rosehip powder on 34 volunteers aged 35 to 65. After 8 weeks, participants showed clear improvements in skin moisture, elasticity, and wrinkle depth. The researchers also found that a compound in rosehip called GOPO blocked the enzyme that breaks down collagen. So rosehip doesn't just build new collagen, it protects what you already have. Rosehip oil is the most common form. Apply a few drops to your face at night. You can also take rosehip powder internally, 5 grams daily, which is the dose used in most clinical studies. The oil has a light, dry texture. It absorbs fast. It won't leave your skin greasy. One note: rosehip oil contains natural pigments that can stain light-colored fabrics. Let it absorb fully before hitting the pillow. Rosehip rebuilds the collagen scaffolding, but there's another layer to skin aging that collagen alone won't fix: oxidative damage, and the plant that attacks that directly is sea buckthorn. In a 2018 study published in the journal Antioxidants, researchers tested sea buckthorn seed oil on human skin cells, exposed to both types of ultraviolet radiation. The oil activated your skin's built-in antioxidant defense system. It reduced the byproducts of oxidative damage, and it boosted your cell's natural detox compounds. In plain language, sea buckthorn helped stop the chain reaction of oxidative damage that sunlight sets off under your skin. This berry is one of the richest plant sources of omega-7 fatty acid, which is rare in the plant world. Omega-7 supports skin cell membrane integrity from the inside. It also contains vitamins C, E, and A, plus carotenoids that give it that aggressive orange color. Sea buckthorn has been used for centuries across Mongolia, Tibet, and Northern Europe. Genghis Khan's armies reportedly fed it to their horses to keep them strong on long campaigns. The name hippophae literally translates to shiny horse. You can take it as an oil, 1 to 2 teaspoons daily, in capsule form at 500 to 1,000 milligrams, or as a juice. The oil has a strong, tart flavor. Start with capsules if the taste is too much. One caution: the oil can stain surfaces and clothing a deep orange. Cognitive decline starts earlier than most people think. Processing speed begins dropping in your late 20s. By 50, your hippocampus, your memory center, is losing volume at roughly 0.5% per year. 2 plants target this directly, and neither of them is ginkgo. The first one is rosemary. In the early 2000s, researchers at Northumbria University in the UK ran an unusual experiment. They diffused rosemary essential oil into a testing room and then measured cognitive performance. The subjects exposed to the rosemary aroma performed noticeably better on memory and arithmetic tasks. But here's where rosemary goes beyond a nice smell. Carnosic acid, another compound in the plant, activates a protective defense switch inside your brain cells. A 2016 paper in Neurochemical Research found that carnosic acid shielded neurons against oxidative stress and against the toxic protein plaques linked to Alzheimer's progression. Use it in cooking. Add it to roasted vegetables, soups, or steep a sprig in hot water for tea. For more concentrated intake, rosemary extract supplements typically provide 200 to 400 milligrams daily. This isn't exotic or expensive. It's probably already in your kitchen. When memory loss progresses past the "where did I put my keys" stage, the standard medical intervention is a drug called donepezil, sold as Aricept. It works by blocking the enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter your brain needs to form and retrieve memories. Donepezil costs $200 to $600 a month. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, insomnia, and muscle cramps. Sage blocks that same enzyme naturally. A 2006 study from Northumbria University, published in Neuropsychopharmacology, confirmed that sage extract blocks the 2 enzymes responsible for breaking down acetylcholine, your brain's primary memory chemical. In that trial, participants who took sage showed reduced anxiety and improved calmness and contentedness during a psychological stress battery. But here's the study that matters most for this audience. In 2008, researchers at the same university tested sage on healthy older adults. Published in Psychopharmacology, the trial found clear improvements in memory and attention following a single dose of sage extract. The same team ran a longer study published in Nutrients in 2021. 29 days of sage supplementation improved work in memory, name to face recall, and task accuracy in adults aged 30 to 60. The name salvia comes from the Latin word meaning to be saved or to heal. European folk medicine has recorded sage as a memory herb for centuries. Shakespeare referenced it. So did Greek physicians 2,000 years before him. For supplementation, standardized sage extract runs 300 to 600 milligrams daily. You can also cook with it, brew it as tea, or use the essential oil aromatically. One caution: sage contains thujone, which can be toxic in very high doses. Stick to normal culinary or supplement amounts and avoid concentrated essential oil internally. That covers the external signs: skin and cognition. Now we go where aging actually begins: the cell itself. Every time your cells divide, the telomeres, protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes get a little shorter. When they get too short, the cell either dies or becomes senescent, alive but dysfunctional, pumping out inflammatory signals. This is one of the core mechanics of biological aging, and the plant that slows this process down is one you already have in your kitchen. Green tea. You've heard that green tea is healthy. You've probably heard it so many times that it washes over you. Here's what you probably haven't heard. Green tea contains a compound called epigallocatechin gallate. Researchers call it EGCG for short. And it directly protects the telomere caps on your chromosomes from oxidative erosion. A 2023 longitudinal study published in Scientific Reports tracked 1,952 participants over 6 years. People who drank at least 1 cup of green tea daily showed measurably less telomere shortening compared to non-drinkers. That association held after adjusting for diet, exercise, and other lifestyle factors. Here's the mechanism. Sun exposure, chronic stress, and normal metabolic activity produce free radicals that attack the weakest points in your telomeric DNA. Every hit shortens the cap. Green tea's active compound neutralizes those free radicals before they reach the telomere. A separate 2018 intervention study found that obese women who supplemented with 450 milligrams of this compound daily for 8 weeks showed measurable telomere elongation in their white blood cells, even without weight loss. The telomeres grew back, not because telomerase was activated, but because the damage stopped. The reason most people don't get these benefits is dosage. A single cup of green tea contains about 50 to 100 milligrams of the active compound. The studies showing telomere effects used 450 milligrams or more. That's roughly 4 to 5 cups daily, or 1 concentrated extract capsule. Matcha delivers more per serving than standard brewed green tea because you're consuming the whole leaf. Standard supplementation runs 300 to 500 milligrams of green tea extract daily. Take it with food to reduce stomach sensitivity. One caution: high-dose green tea supplements taken on an empty stomach have been linked to liver stress in rare cases. Stay within recommended ranges and avoid combining with other liver-taxing supplements. Green tea shields your telomeres from damage. But there's another cellular aging pathway that most people have never heard of, and the fruit that targets it has been sitting in grocery stores your whole life: pomegranate. Here's the problem: most anti-aging strategies miss entirely. Your cells are powered by tiny structures called mitochondria. Think of them as batteries. When you're young, your body automatically recycles old, worn-out batteries and replaces them with fresh ones. As you age, that recycling system breaks down. Damaged mitochondria pile up inside your cells, leaking inflammatory signals and draining your energy. This is one of the reasons you feel the difference between 30 and 60 in ways that go beyond what the mirror shows. Pomegranate contains compounds called elagotannins. When you eat pomegranate or drink its juice, your gut bacteria convert those compounds into something called urolithin A. And urolithin A is the only known natural compound that restarts your cell's ability to recycle damaged mitochondria. A clinical trial published in Nature Metabolism in 2019 tested urolithin A on 60 elderly adults for 28 days. The compound was safe at all doses, and it triggered a measurable increase in mitochondrial renewal, the same kind of cellular cleanup that exercise produces. Here's the catch. Only about 40% of people have the right gut bacteria to convert pomegranate into urolithin A on their own. That means more than half the population drinks pomegranate juice, thinking they're getting the anti-aging benefit. And they're not. If you want to cover your bases, drink pomegranate juice daily, about 1 cup, and support your gut bacteria with fermented foods. You can also find direct urolithin A supplements, though they're newer to the market and pricier. Whole pomegranate seeds are the most affordable option. Eat them by the handful. If you've made it this far, the last plant ties everything together: skin, brain, and cells. It's called Amla. Most people in the West have never heard of it. This fruit looks unremarkable, sour, fibrous, not something you'd pick off a shelf next to an apple. But gram for gram, Amla contains one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C found in any whole food, roughly 20 times more than an orange. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production in your skin. It protects brain cells from oxidative damage, and it supports telomere maintenance through its antioxidant activity. Amla delivers vitamin C in a form your body absorbs more easily and holds on to longer than the synthetic version you'd find in a supplement bottle. In Ayurvedic medicine, Amla is one of 3 fruits in the Triphala formula, used for over 1,000 years as a rejuvenation tonic. Modern research is catching up to what traditional practitioners documented centuries ago. You can take Amla as a powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons daily mixed into water or smoothies. You can take it as a juice, or in capsule form at 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily. The whole dried fruit is also available and can be eaten directly, though the sourness takes some getting used to. Here's what we covered. If your skin is losing its structure, Rosehip for collagen production, sea buckthorn for sun and oxidative defense. If your brain is slowing down, rosemary for neuroprotection, sage for preserving your memory chemicals. If you want to target aging at the cellular level, green tea for telomere protection, pomegranate for mitochondrial renewal, and Amla as the all-rounder that supports all 3 fronts. None of these plants are new. Most have been used for centuries or longer. The difference is that now we have the clinical data to explain why they work. Which one are you going to try first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if enough people ask about the same plant, that's the next deep dive. Subscribe. Nature has answers. This is Root Remedy.